I can't even send you a friend request. I thought I was friends with you. I don't know.
Cuz, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Protege, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alright, I've got an invite. J Cuz has an invite. Everybody's in there, so whenever you guys are ready, go ahead and start the lobby and just let me know when it gets down to 0.
Alright, start the lobby before I say. The lobby started. We got 25 seconds to go.
Copy that, thank you. Setting the stream up right now.
I don't think I've ever raced at Mid-Ohio.
It is a real joy.
You haven't missed anything. You're not missing nothing. Don't even race it.
It's that good, eh?
Yeah.
It's a handful.
Better or worse than Canadian Tire?
We just hit 0.
Worse.
Oh.
Hit 0, heard him coming in.
Okay, cool.
The pace lap, right?
Yes, sir. One pace lap. One pace lap,
guys. One pace lap. Yeah.
Cuz, did you get in?
I'm joining right now.
Copy that.
Yeah, let's not wreck on the pace lap, guys. Come on. It happened last Tuesday on my other league. They wrecked on the pace lap. Yeah.
Alright, I'm starting the stream.
I think we could do single file into like the last turn instead of going side by side.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday night on the Twin Peaks Speed Series channel here on Twitch. It can only mean one thing. Twin Peaks Development League Racing here tonight, coming to you from Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Troy Township, Morrow County, Ohio, just north of Lexington, Ohio. A 15-turn beast, 2.4 miles. Been coming here to Xfinity Series, been coming here since 2013, and we make our inaugural race here for the Twin Peaks Development League tonight. Normally joining the booth with Pone News and the Blonde Wolf, but tonight a special guest in the booth, Twin Peaks Speed Series Daytona 500 winner J Cuz. J Cuz, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for letting me join you.
No problem, man. I'm glad to have you anytime here. See these guys getting geared up, getting ready to go. That right there, we're looking at Jose Protege on the pole. Jose, your Iowa winner. Really fast car, been showing out all season long. I expect more of the same from him on his inside, outside. In the 2 spot there, looks like Fire Slayer. D-Blood bringing it up in P3, and that looks like Ski Mask in 4th. Getting ready to come around here this final turn to the start-finish line, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, that behind him is the 18, starting P5. That's Zek. I didn't get to see who 6th was off the top. But yeah, anyway, should be some pretty interesting racing here, as Mid-Ohio is one of the lesser ran tracks on this game, so it'll be really interesting to see who has spent the time practicing to master this thing as we go green flag racing here. Right off the bat, that 00 Jose Protege jumping out to a lead. Down into turn 1 they go there, everybody on the... Oh boy.
Ooh, already in the grass.
There? Already. It looked like... I'll have to cycle back there and take a look. That was the 21, old boy from Texas, overshooting that first turn. Still plenty of time here as we are stage racing tonight.
How many laps per stage here?
9.
9 laps per stage. So we should be able to make the first 2 stages without a green flag pit stops. You see Jose really burying that thing into the grass and now into the sand there. And that's going to allow Fire Slayer to go underneath though. Ooh, a couple cars later back in the pack. Looks like TCW and old boy from Texas out there playing Farming Simulator in the sand right now.
Ski Mask off the track.
Ski Mask, yeah, I'm on him now. He is off the track. It's going to be a lot of this today, Jay Cuz. Just hang out, man.
Hey, I've never seen a race here, so I'm pretty, I'm interested to see how all these guys do.
I have seen a race here, but I haven't seen a race here on this game. So, I mean, I've raced here, obviously, but never commentated a race here on this game. But I've been to Mid-Ohio once in my adult life. It's a
That is very cool. What did you see?
spectacle. What was it? The kart. It was before Indy and kart merged, so it was the kart series.
That's pretty cool.
They raced. It was pretty cool, man. There's actually two configurations here. There's a 13 turn, like 1.9 mile, and then there's the 15 turn, 2.4 mile. And the kart series was on the smaller track. It omits the chicane and a couple other turns, but it was still really fun.
Very cool. Very cool.
So Fireslayer has everything but turned in his room key and checked out here early in stage 1. I imagine this race will be down to who makes the least mistakes. Taking a look from Jose Protege right now. Figured this turn out. Ooh, still a little hot into there, but he figured it out. Nicely done, Jose. Let's go back on through the field here. Taking a look at D Blood. Racing with the 61 of Wide Open Racing. There's actually talks with the Twin Peaks Speed Series higher ups about eventually putting Mid-Ohio into the Twin Peaks Speed Series schedule. Maybe not this year, or maybe not next year, but the year after. How do you feel about that, Jay?
That's a very scary thought.
Cup cars are in this thing are a handful, man. These
I'm riding
cars
along
are a little
here,
easier.
and I don't know how I'd be doing. I give these guys props.
Yeah, this track is no joke. It's a real beast. Oh boy, good save. Riding along with the 7 now, Deep Blood. There's two lines you can take to that first turn. You can kind of ride that rumble strip to the right of it or to the left of it. The left of it is quicker, but there's not as much grip, so you really got to be careful if you're going to try to shoot that gap there.
Especially as tires start to wear, they're going to have some trouble if they want to keep cutting that corner.
Absolutely. Taking a look here at Fireslayer once again, and I can't really tell, but it looks like he's actually increased that gap a little bit on Jose Protege. Fireslayer has done quite a bit of practice here, because you can tell the line that he's taking through these S's here is not a line you figure out just by doing one lap on this track. Look at that, cutting the corner there. That's absolutely beautiful. Taking a look at Ski Mask now, had an off-track incident earlier in the race, but looks like he's got it figured out now. He's actually catching up to D Blood and Wide Open Racing. Further on, we'll take a look at Wide Open right now. Road course is always a little bit of a handful to present and to commentate because the racing is so spread out, but trying our best here tonight with the Twin Peaks Development League. As you see D Blood now starting to make a little ground on Wide Open coming through these turns here.
Yeah, these guys got spread out pretty quick. The only battle going on seems to be in the back here. Well, not even anymore. TCW was battling for a while with I believe it was the 5 car. They were going at it. It was a fun little battle.
Is Ski Mask, and he is starting to put a little gap on him there. Ski Mask coming out of Washington, D.C., one of the controller players, been playing since NASCAR 98. I imagine between using a controller and using a wheel, the controller probably a little easier here than some of the circle tracks. Watching TCW right now make a break into that third turn there, being super cautious as the turn actually yaws away from you a little bit, so you're shifting all the weight from the right rear to the left front in a hurry, and he definitely took his time around that turn and made it work for him. Watching Wide Open now, who's got Deep Blood all over his rear bumper. This race's in-race reporter is none other than Jose Protege. But every week we have a different in-race, we try to have a different in-race reporter. So if you out there in the chat see someone that you'd like to have as in-race reporter next week, go ahead and drop their name in the chat right now. As you see D Blood playing a little farming simulator back there in turn 7, and that's going to allow Wide Open Racing to get away from him. Taking a look off the rear bumper of Fireslayer now.
He is totally checked out here. He is pulling away. A couple seconds a lap, it seems.
How many laps you got to go, Jose?
We have 4 laps to go.
4 laps to go here. Stage 1 winding down early. Taking a look at Zach right now. That thing looks beat up. Looks like he just got out of a 10-round fight with Tyson. Thought about going in the pits, it looked like, for a second, but he decided against it. Drove through the grass to stay on the track here, coming back down the front stretch now.
I think he's battling a bit of a loose race car here.
I think he's battling some front end damage as well. We will see. We will see. Oh boy, yeah, you're right. He is battling a loose race car. That thing is looser than a drunk prom day right now. Taking a look off the nose of Jose, P2 right now. Jose was the Blonde Wolf and iPhone's pick to win this race, and that's probably why they didn't show up tonight, because Fire Slayer has turned that into a fallacy here in at least stage 1, as he is just the class of the field. But Jose, our pole sitter here, so I expect him to make a good, strong comeback in stage 2. 3 laps to go here around this 2.4 mile track. As I said earlier, 15 turns, and there are 15 turns that you'll never forget once you make them there. Jay Cuz, you're actually up from New York. You got any road courses around you up there other than Watkins Glen?
That's not even very close, to be honest with you. I'm out on Long Island, and that's up pretty far north. We only have a couple local, small, like 1/8 of a mile short tracks. Pretty small stuff.
That's still pretty cool. There is a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of circle track racing that goes on up there in the Northeast, and especially New York State.
Oh, Connecticut
really
is huge. There's a lot of local tracks in Connecticut. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, like tour modifieds, super late models, things like that.
Packing a lot of racing into one of the smaller states. I love to see it. Here in West Virginia, we really only have like 3 predominant racetracks and then a couple mom and pops that don't even have walls.
Yeah.
But those always produce a lot of fun racing as well.
Although me and my cousin have some plans in the works to go to Texas and watch some Formula One, hopefully later this year.
Man, you guys are going to COTA? That'll be amazing.
Yeah, that's something we've been trying to do for the last 2 years, and we just couldn't put it together for one reason or another. And we're gonna really make it happen this year, I think.
That'll be badass, man. I've never been to a Formula One race, but I would love to go. As Fire Slayer makes it 2 laps to go here, going around turn 3, and now you see Jose actually starting to make up a little bit of ground on.
I was thinking that last lap myself. It looked like he was starting to crawl back into the picture here pretty quickly.
He is making his way back, but with 2 laps to go, I don't know if he's going to have enough time to challenge Fire Slayer here for the win in stage 1. But anything's possible. Fire Slayer could eat a little shit sandwich coming through one of these turns. As Blonde Wolf did last night, entering the pits. That was a heck of a race last night. Heck of a race last night. You got any comments on it now that we're a day after that Talladega race?
I'll still hold that that was the most fun super speedway race, maybe in the history of NASCAR Heat 4.
It was definitely a lot of fun to commentate.
That was awesome.
You guys were 2 and 3 wide for a lot of it.
Several laps.
It was a lot of fun.
Several laps. We were 3, 4 wide at some points. It was absolutely insane.
Nobody wanted to give an inch, man. That's the Twin Peaks Speed Series for you. You know, these guys out here racing for a copy of NASCAR Heat 5, which is still a pretty good prize, but you know, Twin Peaks Speed Series racing for cash, and when cash is involved, there are no friends. So 4 wide was to be expected.
Hey, you know what though? We didn't even touch. I don't think maybe once a slight little door tap. So definitely didn't give an inch, but we really didn't have to at the same time. We were all tight knit.
It was great, man. It was very professional, very well done, and just displayed the talent we have here in the Twin Peaks Speed Series. As coming to the last lap here in stage 1, D-Blood is now caught up to wide open again after playing a little farming simulator earlier. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 7 turns left to try to make it around this guy. See if he can make it happen. This is your race, what I assume would be for 3rd place. D Blood coming to us from Gray, Georgia on a T150, the same thing I use. He's been playing since NASCAR '99, so a veteran of these games for a long time. But as everyone else is, new to Mid-Ohio because it's only been on the games for, I think, 2 years now. And that in front of him is our only Canadian competitor, Wide Open Racing, coming from Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada, into the grass there, checking out the tundra of Mid-Ohio. Coming to us on a T300, been playing since NASCAR '07. D-Blood made his way around and has put quite a bit of space in between them.
Almost
back up
five.
to the front,
Almost five.
and that is the end of stage one.
Almost.
Gets
Ski
the dub in
mask
stage
Leezy
one.
down the pit there.
I messed up. I started saving fuel because I thought we had 8 laps, 9 laps, and I made a mistake. That's why I slowed back so much.
That's no problem. We saw you make the ground back up there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here in stage two. Gonna re-rack them, restack them, and set everybody loose. We'll fire off from the tiny little front stretch and see what happens. They race a lot of things here at Mid-Ohio. They race vintage cars. They race club sports. They race Indy cars. They race now NASCAR. They race the trophy trucks here 2 years ago with Robbie Gordon getting a win. There's a lot of stuff that goes on here. So a lot of different tire compounds laid down in terms of rubber on this track. You're probably making it a little slipperier for these guys. Other than the trucks, the trophy trucks, I would say this is the lowest downforce car that comes to Mid-Ohio. So Fire Slayer, as I said, your winner for stage one in the 23 Chevrolet FAS Camaro, coming to us from Richland, PA. He's on a controller, been playing since Days of Thunder on the Nintendo, so he's almost a 30-year veteran in NASCAR
Seasoned
games.
vet.
Getting ready to go green flag racing here again in stage two. Usual suspects up front, Fire Slayer, Jose Protege. Oh, look at the 7 of D-Blood diving way down to the inside there, trying to make something happen, but he was unable to. Now he's on the left rear quarter panel of Jose Protege. Jose shuts the door on him here into turn 2. Oh boy, Jose actually makes a move on the inside of Fire Slayer. Fire Slayer left the door open, got a little discount door check coming through the
I
turn.
hit the apron. Nah, I hit the rumble strip.
So Jose sneaks out to an early lead here in stage 2, right behind them. Fire Slayer and D-Blood, these three separating themselves from the rest of the pack here early as D-Blood gets into the back of Fire Slayer just a smidge.
Looks like D-Blood's got some new life here. He's starting to push these guys a little bit.
Absolutely. After that first stage, got it under his belt, feeling a lot more confident here, and he's trying everything he can to run Jose down. But Jose is really turning some good lap here early on. I say some good lap instead of laps because, you know, 15 turns, 2.4 miles, it's a long way around this bad boy. These guys upwards of 1 minute and 30 seconds a lap. Here they come through the S's. Back quarter of the track. Back to the start finish line. Jose's going to lead lap 1 here of stage 2. Back down into turn 1 they go. Both guys electing to go on the inside of the rumble strips, which I said is a little faster but less grip, so you got to be really careful down there. Down into turn 2, that huge off-axis carousel really shifts the weight of the car. Everybody makes it through cleanly in this front pack anyway.
Yeah, that's a really difficult turn to accelerate out of. It's so easy to spin when you're sloped the other way like that.
It really is, man. You almost have to wait till you're completely wheel straight before you get back into that one. There's you see Jose eating it a little bit going into turn 4, and Fire Slayer now up to his door, but Jose with the advantage on the inside there as they go into 5. All this racing in front of D-Blood, though. He's just kind of hanging out, waiting to see who makes a mistake, and he's going to pounce. Jose into the grass again there, cross track. Oh no, gets into the front of D-Blood just a little bit. Now he's going to have to tuck in behind him.
A little bit, but that's okay. It's all good.
Little discount fender check there. And now you see D-Blood actually got around Fire Slayer too. Man, I missed that. I switched away for just a second, and here we go. D-Blood into the lead. A little front end damage, but that may actually add a little downforce to this car. Coming around turn 15, back to the start-finish line there, and there's D-Blood, your new leader. Here in stage 2, taking that inside line again through turn 1. Man, hitting those rumble strips, the car gets super uneasy as you go through the turn. It's super risky, but he's making it work for him. And Jose Protege into the pits. D-Blood around turn 2, leaving a huge opening there for Fireslayer, though, not able to capitalize on it. Let's go back and see. Jose's making his way out of the pits now. Who would be third place this time?
Is this stage longer than the first that you got a pit now?
Yeah.
Okay, so, oh no, Fireslayer gets into the grass there, and Princess Diana's the wall in turn 5. D-Blood is just running away from him now. But Fireslayer was such a gap on Ski Mask, he was able to keep his position on track, but now Ski Mask right up to his tail. If you look at that 23 on the side of it, they've got like a simulated door handle. I don't actually know what they were going for there, but I don't hate it.
It's the new and improved Xfinity cars with doors.
Yeah.
And windshield wipers.
Further back here in the pack, Jose getting past TCW now. One of the beautiful things about this track, because it is so big and long and so many curves, takes so long to get around, you can pit and stay on the lead lap. So even after pitting, Jose's still far from last place. Around turn 15 there he goes, back to the start-finish line. Let's move back up to the front. Looking at old boy from Texas real quick there, making it around. Oh no, he's going in the pits as well. Early pit stops here. TCW in the pits. Wide open race, and P4 taking a look at him off of his bumper. You can see Ski Mask right there. Wide open racing, as I said earlier, coming to us from Canada, and having experience playing the F1 games and playing Turismo and Project Cars, I know that the Canadians are really good road course racers, so I expected him to be a little further up than this, but P4 still pretty respectable here early on in stage 2. Off the bumper of Fireslayer, you see that big red dot out in the distance. That's D-Blood, really. I mean, just turned it on here in stage 2, as you mentioned early on, looking really good.
Yeah, he's been, after that first stage, he's been killing it. Looks like Fireslayer might be catching him a little bit, though, here, after spinning out. Making up some ground.
It does, as he makes his way around turn 15 there, back across the start-finish line. And you see D-Blood is now shifted up to that second line through turn 1, as has Fireslayer. Down into the treacherous turn 2, here they go. And D-Blood made that look so easy. Ooh, and I say it spoke too soon. He gets it out in the grass there, but is able to keep it under control.
Just throwing a little dirt at Fireslayer.
Yeah, Mid-Ohio, man, this is such a difficult track. It's been around forever, I feel like, almost. Opened in 1962, actually, so it has been here for pretty much forever. Yeah, Fireslayer making some ground. Ooh, D-Blood maybe getting on the throttle a little too abruptly there, and that's going to allow Fireslayer to make some more ground on him. These two Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 1LEs outpacing the field. Being a Twin Peaks Speed Series driver yourself and having experience on road courses, what kind of pit adjustments do you make? Are you one of those guys that tries to invert the tires, make the rears a little more pressurized than the fronts, or do you just leave it the way it comes?
I kind of just leave it because I'm not too good at the road courses. I may tighten it up a little bit here and there because I like to hit the gas and spin myself out. So I'll tighten it up, I'll snug it up, makes it a little safer for me to drive, and then lets me hang on a little bit.
Anything you can do to make it more drivable. Coming into turn 2 here, you can see that Fireslayer's made up a ton of ground on D-Blood.
He is catching them. I mean, a lot of times at the road course, it's who makes the least mistakes, and if I can try to make my car do the least mistakes, I'll definitely do it.
Fireslayer really I mean, we're looking at D Blood right now from the lead.
Jumping the curb there.
Third in points in this short 6-race season. So sitting pretty good, but on the other side, just one person past the cut line is Fireslayer in 6th place right now in the points. And the Ghost and Mustafa, neither one of those guys showing up for tonight, so they're going to fall below the cut line. And if Fireslayer can have a good performance here, he'll definitely be above the cut line, maybe even up into the top 2.
Yeah, I'm going to bet he leaves here looking pretty good in points.
We'll take a look at D-Blood here. Let's go back through the field. I'm kind of afraid to leave this race.
I know, I've been watching this battle. I've been glued.
So we'll stay with it for another second here as they come around turn 15. You see, man, Blood getting a little loose. Here they come back into turn 1. I bet they both take that second group. No, Fireslayer and D-Blood both using that first group still. Even
it kind of looked like Fireslayer was going to go the second groove there and saw D-Blood do it and had to make a last-second decision. Try to not lose too much ground.
Exactly, yeah, you don't want to lose too much ground on that guy in front of you after you've just made it all back up. So last second call by him, but it worked out for him. So a good move as they're now starting to come up on a little bit of lap traffic.
Looks like he's taking a peek there.
He's going to take a look to the inside and try to outbrake him going into turn 4. A little door banging. 23 does make it around though.
Man, what a pass.
It was beautiful. In a very difficult spot to make a pass as well. Any of those heavy braking zones, it's almost like making a pass one into the backstretch chicane at the Roval, or trying to make a pass one into the bus stop at Watkins Glen. I mean, yeah, exactly. So, it just kind of puts in perspective what that kid just did. That was a heck of a move for the lead. And now you can see the gap he's actually put on D-Blood a little bit. I spoke too... Oh, no, D-Blood out there. In Farming Simulator with the Combine, Chevrolet Camaro Combine out there. And Fireslayer now makes his way into pits. Looked extremely... Oh, no, he got it down to speed just in time. So that allows D-Blood back out into the lead. And this is where commentating the road course gets super confusing, because who in the world even knows?
I couldn't tell you who's where other than first place.
Yeah. So we're still riding along with Fireslayer, or I'm sorry, D-Blood off of the hood of this vehicle. Thank you guys, got a couple more people rolling in. Thank you all for joining us here tonight. Twin Peaks Development League at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. If you missed the stream last night with the Twin Peaks Speed Series and you missed your chance to enter for a free copy of NASCAR Heat 5 stick around, we'll give you guys a code. You gotta like us on Twitch as you see D-Blood now out into the sand, baby. Beach, baby, here in the sand. So I'll drop a code a little later. Like us on Twitch, follow us on Facebook, and message the Facebook page the code for your chance to get a copy of NASCAR Heat 5 for free. Sad to hear that you actually couldn't pre-order a copy of NASCAR Heat 5 digitally through the PlayStation Store for whatever reason. You looking forward to Heat 5, cuz?
I am, man. I'm looking forward to just the broadcasting options for everyone to watch and it actually look kind of like a race. That's very exciting.
Yeah, because if you look up top right now, we do have a ticker, but it's just telling you the numbers and the names.
It's in no particular order.
And I'm also told that we will have a lap counter, so that'll be nice. So I won't have to ask like I do right now. Jose, how many laps do we have to go here in stage 2?
I'll tell you right now. Hold on.
Copy that, sir.
We got a battle for second place here. 1 lap to go.
1 lap to go in stage 2, and Jose's right. We do have a battle for second place. Looks like Wide Open Racing, Ski Mask, and Jose all racing for second place. 3-way battle, so we'll shift away from Fireslayer, who's running away with it here, and these guys getting into each other a little bit there going through turn 2.
So when is D-Blood's gonna have to pit here pretty soon? So we're gonna have a shake-up at the top.
He's saving fuel. He's the last lap.
That's pretty impressive. He's got a pretty good lead still.
Oh.
Extremely impressive there. You see Ski Mask going off track and then trying to get back on track, gets into the double zero there just a little bit. That allowed Jose around.
5 car out of fuel.
5 cars out of fuel here in stage 2, trying to save, just couldn't quite make it happen for him. See if Jose can run down wide open. The Canadian killer out there. Pone Noobs checking in the chat. Thanks, Pone. Appreciate having you here, brother. No problem. Pleasure having Jay Cuz up here filling
What's up,
in
man?
for you. And this is your race for second place right now as they come around turn 14. Oh, around turn 15 as well there. Yep. Jose was trying to make a cute move there. Couldn't make it happen. And that is going to round out stage 2. And that was D-Blood.
Good job, D-Blood, saving fuel.
Showing everybody how it's done here.
Yeah,
saving
nice
the
job.
fuel.
He had a huge lead.
He had a huge lead. He made that look really easy, too. That's spooky. So we're going to re-rack him and stack him one more time here before stage 3. Let these guys fire off out of Lexington, Ohio once again. Thank you guys for joining us here at Twin Peaks Development League on a Wednesday night. Jimbo Earnhardt with Jay Cuz. In the booth, Twin Peaks Speed Series driver and Daytona 500 winner. Awesome. Booth. Thoughts on the first 2 stages? Thoughts on the first 2 stages are this track is a freaking handful. Stage 1 was a lot of beating and banging, but you know, everybody finally got it figured out. And in stage 2, we saw who was going to try to pit, who was going to try to save fuel, and D-Blood just classed the field there. Got out in front, saved the fuel, did everything he could to finish stage 2. It looked really good.
Yeah, very impressive.
So here we go for stage 3 now. Wide open racing. The Canadian Crippler on the inside with Jose Protege on the outside. And then P3 got Fire Slayer, green flag flies. D-Blood in 4th. Looks like Ski Mask 5th, Zek 6th, TCW 7, and rounding it out in 8th place is Old Boy from Texas. Nice to see different cars dominating, Pone says. And as soon as he says that, the 00 Jose Protege steps out to the lead, so hold your breath on that one. Right behind him, though, is a huge battle. Everybody under a blanket here early. As I say that, they start to stretch out. But now here comes Fire Slayer on the inside.
Right
Coming
away,
into
I
this
love
heavy
it.
braking zone.
Not wasting any time.
No time to waste here. Well, I was going to ask, but I'll wait. How many laps we have here in stage 3? See Protege getting into the grass there just a little bit, trying to enter the turn as early as he can. Protege, Fire Slayer, D-Blood, and I think that was wide open in 4th.
Yep, that's wide open back there. He looks like he's found a little life too. He's keeping up with these guys now.
Yeah. Once you get a couple laps under your belt here, man, it's really not so bad.
Yeah, you got to build a good rhythm.
It's kind of like swimming in cold water. It sucks when you first jump in, but after a while, you don't even know it. I mean, look at Ski Mask taking a very aggressive line into turn 7 there. I think it was turn 8, actually. I lose track. Oh, no, that was actually 14. Here they got through 15 back on the front stretch, and that was Jose Protege leading lap 1 of stage 3. Fire Slayer 2nd, D-Blood 3rd, still wide open in 4th. These guys starting to get spread out a little bit. Early in the stage, taking that bottom groove through turn 1. Noob said he wishes he was racing. Well, I can tell you one thing, sir. No one on the track wishes that.
Yeah, we'd never see him.
But we in the booth, we do wish that, because it'd make this a little more, a little spicy, if you will, because it'd just be a bunch of dogs chasing a rabbit at that point.
I wouldn't mind watching and trying to learn a thing or two.
Hey, man, I've learned a lot from watching you all, everybody in the Twin Peaks Speed Series race around, especially at the Roval. Just the way that Pone was taking the backstretch chicane on the Roval, I took about half a second off my lap time there.
Extremely impressive.
Back in the pack a little bit, it looked like D-Blood was trying to move to the outside of wide open, but couldn't make it happen there through the turn. Protege being really cautious of these turns, and you can tell Fire Slayer wants to be a little more aggressive. Ski Mask has made his way up to that second pack of cars.
Man, I have a feeling these two are going to be battling it out throughout this entire stage.
I feel the same way as you do, man. Here they go, down through turn 15, back down the front stretch. You see Jose Protege getting into the grass there just a little bit yet again, taking that bottom line through turn 1 over the rumble strips there on exit. That's super sketchy, but he made it work for him. Oh boy, look at all the dirt flying in the background.
Yeah, I'm clicking the camera trying to get back there as quick as I can.
I'm still glued on these two up front here as they come through treacherous turn 2, making it through safe yet again.
Ooh,
Jose Protege down the backstretch now. Fire
getting
Slayer
knocked
into
around
Fire
a bit
Slayer.
back here.
Taking a look to the inside again. He's going to try to beat him in the heavy braking zone, but man, I'm telling you, that is just a tough place to make a pass.
Yeah, it's so hard to get to the inside and then try to come back left like that and make the move on the outside. Really difficult.
Making the way
Don't
back up
bump
the
me
hill
there.
here. A super scary spot to get bumped, as you can hear Jose not really stoked about that one. But Fire Slayer doing everything he can to get around this 00 Ford
Man,
Mustang.
that's a sketchy place to want to drive by yourself, let alone have somebody on your bumper.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. I don't know if you've ever been to Troy Township, Ohio, but the whole city's a little sketchy. These
I
guys
have not. I'll
continue-
take your word.
Yeah, these guys still racing almost side by side there as they're coming up to the final S section here at Mid-Ohio. Back around turn 15 down the front stretch they go again.
Man, using every inch there.
You almost have to. This track very narrow, and actually it used to be more narrow than it is now. There was a repave, I think in 2003, that allowed a couple more feet at the crucial parts of this track, and I can't imagine driving this place without it.
Yeah, no way. This is a narrow course to begin with.
See that asphalt rumble strip there coming out of turn 2, one of the additions to this track. These guys heading back down the backstretch again. Looks like Fire Slayer's trying to get some draft off of Protege to beat him to this heavy braking zone, but I just don't see it happening. Fire Slayer being a very worthy adversary, though, of Protege, not letting him get away, staying right on him.
Yeah, no, he's been looking every couple corners or so, trying to get a look, trying to make a move here. It's been pretty good racing so far.
So as much as I don't want to, I'm going to go back here and take a look through the rest of the field, see what's going on. Taking a look from Wide Open Racing right now. He's on an island all by himself. But right behind him is a battle. I would assume this is a battle for 4th place between Ski Mask and D Blood. Ski Mask coming to us from Washington, D.C., as I said earlier, on a controller. One of the few guys on a controller here in the Twin Peaks Development League. But if a controller was ever going to have an advantage, you would think it'd be here on a road course.
Yeah, big time. You can swing that steering wheel right to left so fast. They've been battling for a while. They've been beating and banging. Getting after it back here for 4th place.
Beating, banging, and god danging. Let's see what they do here through turn 1. Everybody electing to take that lower line through turn 1, which I don't hate. It's definitely faster, but man, it is super sketchy. But these guys just showing that much skill they have here in the Twin Peaks Development League. Slowly, these two making their way back up to the bumper, Wide Open Racing as they come through turn 2 right now. Back out onto the backstretch. Oh, Ski Mask gets onto the gas just a little early. And that's Pwn Noobs in the chat. He is correct. Code word for a free copy of NASCAR Heat 5 coming up soon here. Everybody stay tuned. How many laps do we have left here in Stage 3, Protege?
Looks like about 11.
Is that 11?
Yes.
Lord have mercy. So we are going to have a green flag pit stop here. That'll be exciting. Oh, taking a look at Zach right now, going backwards, doing some donuts. I think he thought he already won the race. Must be a little carbon monoxide poisoning in that 18 car.
Oh man, I missed the pass for the lead.
I did as well. That's what happens going back through the field. Jose using every bit of the track and then some of the grass as well to try to get around that last turn there. Beautiful arc through turn 1. Doing everything he can to make some ground back up on Fire Slayer, your current leader. So we're going to do it a little different tonight, actually. Normally, I use this...
Oh,
Oh,
hang on to it.
Gets turned around a little bit there in turn 2, and that's going to allow Fire Slayer to sneak away that much more.
Almost.
But
Yeah, good
normally I use the same code from the Twin Peaks Speed Series race that I use for the Twin Peaks Development League, but tonight we're going to do a little something different. This is an extra chance to enter for your free copy of NASCAR Heat 5. So you got to like the Twitch stream, you got to follow us on Facebook, and then your code for tonight. Oh, Simon. We'll just say Simon. I was going to say Simon Paginel, but you guys, that's incredibly hard to spell. So Simon tonight's code for your chance to win a copy of NASCAR Heat 5 for free. The reason I chose Simon is because Simon Pagenaud has the lap record here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course with a 103.8, if I'm not mistaken. Simon did that in a 2016 Indy car. He was absolutely shitting and getting as we're watching Fire Slayer come back around the start-finish line here. Heading it back down into turn 1 once again. That is code word Simon for your chance to win a copy of NASCAR Heat 5 from Twin Peaks Speed Series. So you see Jose Protege off there in the distance doing everything he can to drop this thing to get caught back up to Fire Slayer. But all really Fire Slayer has to do is just not make any mistakes. Stay on his P's and Q's, and he should come away with a win here tonight. But we still have a green flag pit stop, so I guess anything is possible.
Seems like Jose's here making up some of the ground that he lost there.
Oh, Noobs in the chat says these guys have their hands full. Great choice of a track. I couldn't agree. Whoever chose this track, wink, wink, did a really good job. These guys, more than a handful here. As you hear in the background, you can hear some Thrustmaster Plastic squeaking and squawking as Protege's doing everything he can to get this thing around. That's P2. Let's keep going through the field here, see what we got. This is D-Blood here.
Jose, did you go with the shifter versus the paddles this time?
No. I go with the paddles.
Now I imagine an H pattern around here is a good time for sure.
Oh man.
D-Blood coming around turn 9 there. Looks like he got a little loose, and that's going to allow Wide Open to sneak away from him. Going through this final S section before they come back through the start-finish line here.
I'll tell you what, after the pit stop cycle through, I think we're going to have another battle for the lead.
That's an excellent question. Jay Cuz, what advice would you give these guys who move up to the Cup Series on Heat 5?
I mean, I would try to take the approach that I use. I try to race every race mistake-free. Find my way through the first two stages and just limit your mistakes. The less mistakes you make, the better, the quicker you're going to get, and the faster you're going to get quicker, if that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense there. As you see, Fire Slayer had made a little mistake there coming through turn 5, and that's going to allow Protege to sneak up to him a little bit more, eating into that lead that he gave away early on in the stage 3. But yeah, you're 100% correct, man. Mistakes can cost you, make you or break you in racing in real life or racing on this game.
Yeah,
it seems
absolutely.
to be magnified by the skill level that we have here in the Twin Peaks Speed Series. As our leader and second place both are make their way onto pit road right now, where they're regularly scheduled green flag pit stop.
Jose coming with them. This will be a good battle off the pits here.
Tom says, you're literally the definition of consistency this year. Glad to have you. And he is right, man. You really are. Only one finish outside of the top 4 or top 3. And that was a 6th place.
6th place at Daytona.
Yeah, well, I appreciate him inviting us in and getting this going for the first season. It's been extremely fun. It's definitely been the most fun I've had racing against these guys.
And it is only the beginning here as we see Fire Slayer getting out of pit road long before anybody else. Actually, looks like he made some more ground on Protege.
Yeah, he had a really good exit there.
He really did. D-Blood and Ski Mask making their way out of pit road right now, and I believe that should be the end of the green flag pit stops here. Oh, no, TCW making his way down now. A little damage to the front of that 00 Jacobs Company Ford Mustang. Into the heavy braking zone. You hear him pinging it off the rev limiter. He's really man on a mission right now, doing everything he can to try to catch Fire Slayer in that 23. So, Jacob, is this really your first chance to take a look at these guys that are racing for not only a copy of NASCAR Heat 5, but a chance to get into the Twin Peaks Speed Series next year? Has anybody? I mean, obviously, Fire Slayer and Jose Protege. These guys, have been racing consistent all year. But any other of these drivers stand out to you as someone that you may have to worry about next season?
Let's take a look through the field here so I get their names right. Who we miss? We're missing a couple guys tonight, yeah?
We're missing the Ghost, Mustafa, and Moonbeams.
I feel like
that's rough because the Ghost is P4 in points.
I was going to say the Ghost
P5
looks like he's had some good runs. He definitely has been pretty competitive out of the guys that aren't here tonight. But, I mean, Jose's always really, really fast, and he's really challenging. We race together in some other leagues, and we're always going back and forth, so he'll be really tough. And the other obvious candidate here, Fire Slayer, he's been improving ridiculously fast, so who knows how good he'll be in 2 months, 6 months, whenever. He'll probably be pretty dang competitive.
I imagine you're right. As we said earlier, Fire Slayer have been playing NASCAR games since the Nintendo days on the Days of Thunder game. But let's see, where was he again? He was 6th in points. 2 guys in front of him in points didn't show up tonight, so he should be in the top 4 after this, no problem. See here, Pone Noobs says potentially Jose, Fire, Ghost, and Wide Open are his picks to make it up to the Cup Series. I'm sorry, the Twin Peaks Speed Series.
Yeah, I probably agree based off what I've seen so far.
Absolutely, I echo those sentiments as well. But you can't count out guys like TCW. I've seen TCW racing in other leagues. He's extremely fast. Moonbeams showed a lot of speed early on in the series as well. And
yeah, TCW is another one. Extremely smooth.
I agree. Ski Mask is a really smooth driver. You can't really use Mid-Ohio as a judge. This is a very unique track. It takes attributes that not a lot of other drivers have that these two up front have definitely displayed for us tonight. But for the rest of us who are just normal circle track drivers, not a lot of these skills being used anywhere else. But as I was saying, Ski Mask P4 at Daytona and in 9th last week at Iowa. But that was a guy that also had my eye on to make his way up to the Twin Peaks Speed Series. Continue to go through the field here. It looks like Fire Slayer making his way around some flat traffic.
He was hung up there for a second. They were kind of battling it out when he came up on them, and definitely held him up a little bit there. Wonder how much though.
Well, take a look off Jose's hood right now. You can see the cars that Fire Slayer was just fighting to get around. Definitely taking the more scenic country route there through turns 13, 14.
It's a shortcut.
Around 15 now, back down the straight stretch with this lap traffic in front of him, and you see Fire Slayer just burying that thing into turn 1 off into the distance. Oh, that's Zach, actually. That's Zach, an old boy from Texas.
Looks like it's going to work out well for him here. Spread out a little bit.
Yeah, he's able to make his way through the lap traffic a lot quicker than Fire Slayer was, that's for sure. These two guys, also guys you don't want to count out in the long run. Maybe not showing their best tonight here at Mid-Ohio, but I expect these guys to come back strong next week. Simon says heard on. Yes, that is correct, sir. Simon is the code word for tonight's entry into the contest to win a free copy of NASCAR Heat 5.
Where do these guys go next week?
Next week, these guys go to Pocono, and then Dover, and then Kansas.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So, back-to-back road courses, if you will. Pocono, not really a road course, but kind of a road course. It's just a road course with all left-hand turns.
Pocono gets a bad rap.
I personally love it.
It's a tough track to have to drive. It makes it fun.
It is fun. A lot of people try to treat it like an oval, but you really can't. You really have to treat it like it's a road course, and you'll find a lot more success there if you do. As we're watching Fire Slayer come back around 15 through the start-finish line, burying that thing back down into turn 1, and we look off his bumper, and it is desolate out there. Not a car in sight. This guy's turned in his room key and checked out, doing his best Pone Noobs impression here in the 23 car. Man, he's really tackled turn 2. He made that look so easy right there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's really got a handle on this place. He's moving. Especially with these, well, I can't even say they're all. They pitted. How many laps we got left? 4 or 5?
4.
4 laps to go.
Yeah,
Man.
so it's going to be tricky here. Making the tires last, hanging on, trying to push it, but not push it too hard.
And that is really the trick within itself, is just trying to get the most out of your car without forcing an issue and having an accident, or wearing your equipment out. But it looks like Fire Slayer was able to tackle that tonight here. Still 4 laps to go, so you could get out there, play a little farming simulator, and throw it away easily. Taking a look from Jose Protege right now as he comes over the hump back down into the valley here, heading way up to turn 10, I think? 11? Turn 11 right here? Around this final turn here, back down, shooting it down to the start-finish line. Coming to 3 to go there for Jose. Meanwhile, Fire Slayer already on his way to turn 2, up the hill.
Still taking that lower line through turn 1 there. That's
Yeah,
really
man, these
impressive
guys,
on these old tires. I don't like doing it.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing it. These guys must have special fire suits made for the ball so they can fit them in there. Clone Noob says, Fire Slayer running pretty solid for such a tough track. Very impressed with how much he's improved since early KOT.
Yeah, I totally agree. Especially, I mean, shoot, even in like the last month, maybe 2 months, he's been like extremely competitive at every track we've been at. Getting very good.
Showing a lot of speed here tonight. So far in the Twin Peaks Development League, he's got a 7th at Daytona and a 3rd last week at Iowa. And, Iowa's a real deal handful. So if you can make your way around that and stay in the top 3, I got a lot of respect for you just in that. Up to 7 right now here with the Twin Peaks Development League. Thank you guys very much for tuning in here as we're coming to 2 to go. Here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Club, Sports Car Complex, Sports Car Track. You see the 23 car making his way back up the hill, setting it up for treacherous turn 2. Probably the most difficult turn on the track, in my opinion. And he just aces it.
Makes it look easy.
Too easy, almost. Back in the pack here, 2nd place, Jose Protege, dealing with a little lap traffic, trying to get around the 22 of TCW. Haven't spoke about TCW too much tonight. The Rock Hill, South Carolina native, another guy on a controller.
Hey, Fire Slayer. You got a flat tire.
That, folks, is Jose Protege, in-race reporter for tonight, doing everything he can to try to get in the head of that 23 car, but he is just on another level tonight. He's really, like I said, doing his best Clone Noobs impression. Just turned in his room key, checked out, already in another state. He's already on his way to Pocono. I was going to say not a bit of damage on that car, but it looks like a little right rear damage there. May have got a friendly bump coming around that last turn. Coming to 1 to go right here, the white flag out. Making his way back down through turn 1, and I'm telling you what, he's taking that bottom groove the entire time this race, man. He's just super confident about that line.
He's got that thing hooked up. Anywhere he wants to go, it seems to just stick.
Around the treacherous turn 2, not hugging it as tight as he has been there in previous laps. Definitely being a little more cautious here, knowing that this is taking it to the pay window, as the late great Dusty Rhodes would have said. Down into the heavy braking zone, making that hard right-hand turn. Man, just beautiful. Something else.
Man, cruising.
Wepa! I'm gone.
Oh, Jose Protege out in the grass, able to save it and keep his position. Still P2.
Yeah, it looks like everybody, barring a huge mistake, is probably going to finish where they're going to be. right about now. They're very spread out.
Yeah. Go in. What?
Thank you, Pone. Appreciate it, brother.
Oh, go ahead. No, they can't hear you.
Meanwhile, that was the end of the race.
I
I was
know.
looking over to check a message from our
Yes.
own Bill France iPhone News. And your winner tonight, Fire Slayer, Jose Protege
Go in, Fire
P2.
Slayer.
Let's see who was going to be third place here. I
D
can't.
Blood.
D Blood, absolutely, it's D Blood here.
He did a
Wide
really
open
good job on the
14.
long runs here.
Who turned 15 and he crosses the start finish line. That is third place. Yeah, he really did. That Civic car has one of those simulated door handles on the side too. Interesting. Must be a junior motorsports thing. I don't really know. Weird. But yeah, Fire Slayer, Protege, and D Blood all really showed out here today at Mid Ohio.
Too many mistakes from me.
It happens, man. It happens. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Especially
P2
at
is
these
nothing
road
to
courses.
Nothing to
Yeah.
shake your head at. With wide open, not having such a great performance, that's going to extend your lead for sure. But Fire Slayer making his way up into the top 4 for sure, and D Blood, who was in third place coming into tonight, might slide up into second. We'll have to wait and see how the points unfold. So I'm going to go ahead and back out, and we'll start post-race interviews.
Yes, sir. And a win. That's the first one and last one.
Nice job, Fire Slayer. Good race.
So we'll start with P3 here tonight. D Blood.
Yep, pause it. Hang on.